So the latest piece of news that's getting a lot of attention on various gaming forums right now is the fact that that like a new Deus X game that's supposed to be coming out, I guess in a couple of years or so, pretty much got canceled. And the reason for its cancellation is because Embracer Group is laying off like multiple people or something to that effect. I heard somewhere around 97 people like are being laid off. And the reason for that being is because Embracer Group they failed to secure a $2 billion deal, and because of that, they're cutting their expenses, and like the $2 billion deal, it's supposed to include like publishers and studios and all that stuff, and for whatever reason, everything just kind of like fell through, and as a result, um, Eidos Montreal, who normally develops the Deus Ex games, basically like they had to like just like scrap the whole thing altogether, and it's a damn shame because this upcoming Deus Ex game was like 2 years in like pre-production. It was supposed to enter like production a little bit later this year, and a lot of people want to see a new Deus Ex game, especially considering how successful Mankind Divided from 2016 was, and that was like the latest main entry in the series, and that was preceded by Deus Ex: Human Revolution, which came out back in 2011. So I have no idea what this means for the series. I don't know if the series is dead, or if Square Enix is just gonna like find another developer, because Square Enix was the publisher for the last two Deus Ex games, and like this is another like round of bad news that is hit the Square Enix, because um I believe a couple of months ago it was reported that Final Fantasy 16 fell below Square Enix's desired expectations, and it only managed to sell like 3 million copies within a couple of months or something. A lot of people aren't really interested in Final Fantasy, at least like the newer entries, as they are like the older ones. A lot of people would rather see like remakes of the older ones. And as far as Square Enix is concerned, I think like the main thing that like people are looking forward to in relation to that company is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is supposed to be coming out a little bit later this year. But I do feel like, if Square Enix had published another Deus Ex game, and the $2 billion deal with Embracer Group, took place and was established and all that stuff, I do feel that Deus Ex, would have done pretty well in terms of sales. It's been a huge commercial success. It's just a matter of coming up with a compelling storyline, because a lot of people felt like the storyline for Mankind Divided was really interesting. It was very dark and it was very grim, but at the same time, it was interesting. And I believe in Mankind Divided. Um, Basically, the story was, it was basically like about human augmentation and how society is divided between those who are augmented and those who are not. And I guess like the setting was in the year of 2029, and I mean it's terrifying because we're actually getting really close to 2029. But yeah, I mean that was kind of like the gist of the plot for Mankind Divided, and honestly, like, hopefully that's something that's not like, coming soon or anything like that, because every time I go on social media, I see something trending about civil war or talks of civil war. And then, you have Texas and like, their issues with the country and, all that stuff. Just, I don't know. It's horrifying stuff. Um, and I do feel that, like whatever story we were supposed to get, it would have been interesting. But even though the new Deus Ex game, got canceled or whatever, I'd like to hear what the concept was, what the story was going to focus on, whether or not it was going to be like a prequel or a sequel to Mankind Divided. Because I remember like the original Deus Ex game that came out back in 2000. It was set like at a much later, like time period. And I think like the original Deus Ex game from 2000, I think the world was like cyberpunk and it was set in the year 2052. So like I have no idea whether or not the canceled Deus Ex game was going to be like set, before or after that, and I don't think we'll ever know. But I think this is really unfortunate for the people who worked for Embracer Group, and it's going to be very unfortunate for those um, who are affiliated with Eidos Montreal. It's definitely unfortunate for Square Enix because 2023 was kind of a rough year for Square Enix, to say the least. It was a rough year for a lot of video game companies in general with all the layoffs and stuff. But at the same time, 2023 was an exciting year for a lot of people if you were just like in the gaming community or just a fan of video games in general. But yeah, it's a damn shame we're not going to get another Deus Ex game anytime soon. But hopefully, that doesn't mean that the series is dead and that it's just taking a long hiatus until I guess Square Enix can find another developer or a developer of the same caliber as Eidos Montreal. But but as it currently stands, it doesn't look like we're going to get a new Deus Ex game anytime in the near future.